So to get started, something that you need to do to prepare your project for this particular assignment is come up and click on After Effects, come down to Preferences, and select Import. Now if you're using a Windows PC, you need to go to the Preferences wherever they're located in the PC equivalent of After Effects and select Import. And what we're going to do is change this setting right here for sequence footage from 30 frames per second to 12 frames per second. And we'll hit OK. Now come over to this asset area and you can double click on it, or you can hit Command I for import. Navigate to where your folder is. Select the first file in your sequence of images. And you'll notice what it does is it recognizes it as an image sequence. In this particular case, since it's a TIFF format, it recognizes it as TIFF sequences, or as a TIFF sequence. If it were JPEG or PSD, it would similarly recognize them as their format image sequences. So I'll go ahead and hit Open. And what I can do is I can just take this file that we just imported and drag it down into our timeline. And it is by default going to create a new document that is based on the frame rate of this file that we imported and on the duration and the physical dimensions of the file that we imported. So now I'll come over here to my Preview tab. And if your Preview tab isn't available by default, you can access that by going to Window and coming down and selecting Preview. And this furthest most icon in the Preview menu is our RAM Preview. If I select that, what it'll do is I enable the playback so we can just watch, make sure that we have good timing, good motion, etc. All right, but you'll notice what is absent is the the ability to see the individual frames down here in the timeline. Now the reason being is because After Effects treats this timeline similar to other video editing software in the sense that it doesn't focus on individual frames per se, but it focuses on your video clips in their entirety. Okay, so to be able to have that offset of about 10 frames or so, or a little bit of a pause on the first frame, a little bit of a pause on the end frame, we actually need to import those frames individually as frames, not as footage. So once come back over here into our asset list, double click on it or hit Command or